Ladies and gentlemen, today we gather to explore one of the most significant aspects of marital life in Islam. A topic that touches the very core of personal rights, justice, and dignity within marriage. In the journey of life, relationships are meant to be built on mutual love, understanding, and compassion. Yet, sometimes circumstances arise where a marriage may no longer be a source of comfort, peace, or growth. Islam, in its infinite wisdom, has provided solutions that balance compassion with justice and guidance with personal autonomy. One of these divine solutions is Khula, a process through which a woman can seek separation from her husband, ensuring her rights are preserved while maintaining respect for the sacredness of marriage. Today, we will delve into 6 powerful steps that illuminate the path of Khula in Islam, how it works when it is applicable, the rights and responsibilities involved, and the spiritual and social wisdom that underpins this process. Understanding these steps is not just about legal knowledge, it is about empowering women with clarity, ensuring fairness, and nurturing a society that values respect, dignity, and justice for all. Together we will unpack this journey step by step, drawing lessons that are practical, enlightening, and deeply rooted in Islamic teachings. Ladies and gentlemen, let us begin by truly understanding the concept of Khula in Islam, a subject that is both profound and practical, touching the lives of countless women, families, and communities. Khula, in its essence, is the right given to a woman to seek separation from her husband when the marriage no longer fulfills the purposes of love, respect, and harmony that Islam prescribes. But it is more than a legal or procedural concept, it is a manifestation of divine justice, compassion, and wisdom. To understand Khula fully, we must first appreciate the balance that Islam seeks to maintain between the sanctity of marriage and the well-being of the individual. Marriage in Islam is not just a social contract. It is a sacred bond, a spiritual journey, and a partnership built on mutual rights, responsibilities, and understanding. Yet Islam recognizes human limitations, differences, and the reality that not every marriage may succeed. And it is here that the mercy and wisdom of our faith become evident. Through Khula, women are granted a means to protect their dignity, their peace of mind, and their spiritual and emotional well-being. Khula is not an escape from responsibility, nor is it a sign of weakness. Rather, it is an affirmation of a woman's right to live a life in which she is respected, valued, and secure. Islam emphasizes that a woman should never be forced to remain in a relationship that harms her heart, her mind, or her soul. This principle alone is revolutionary, because it places the moral and emotional welfare of women at the center of Islamic law. The Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, himself established a framework where women could voice their grievances and seek resolution in ways that honor justice, compassion, and social harmony. Khula, therefore, is a tool of empowerment, rooted in the acknowledgement that every human being deserves fairness, dignity, and peace in their personal life. Understanding Khula also requires a deep recognition of intention, which Islam teaches us is the cornerstone of every action. The pursuit of Khula must come from a sincere intention, a desire for peace, for freedom from harm, and for a life that allows one to fulfill spiritual and worldly duties without oppression or hardship. It is not about ego, revenge, or impulsive decisions. Instead, it is about wisdom, discernment, and courage. The courage to prioritize one's own well-being while still honoring the ethical and spiritual principles of Islam. This is why knowledge is so critical. A woman seeking Khula must understand her rights, the process, and the responsibilities that come with it. She must approach the matter with patience, guidance, and consultation with scholars or trusted advisors who can provide clarity and support. Khula, therefore, is both a spiritual and practical journey, a balance between the heart and the mind, between justice and compassion. Moreover, Khula reflects the larger principle of fairness that permeates Islamic teachings. Islam constantly teaches us to protect the weak, honor the vulnerable, and ensure that no individual suffers injustice. In a society where women were historically marginalized, the provision of Khula demonstrates the foresight and fairness of Islamic law. It prevents abuse, neglect, and coercion within marriage, ensuring that women are not trapped in harmful circumstances. This is not only a legal right, it is a moral imperative. By understanding Khula, women can reclaim their agency, communities can foster justice, and families can navigate difficult circumstances with wisdom rather than conflict. The process itself is structured to be fair. The woman may return her mahr, dowry, as part of the settlement, and both parties are encouraged to approach the matter with integrity, respect, and dignity. Khula also has profound social implications. When women have access to fair and compassionate avenues for resolving marital discord, society as a whole benefits. Children grow up in environments that respect justice and morality. Communities are strengthened through adherence to ethical principles, and women are empowered to contribute meaningfully to all spheres of life. Islam teaches us that the welfare of the individual is inseparable from the welfare of society. By understanding and applying Khula properly, we uphold this principle. We honor not only the rights of women, but also the vision of a just, compassionate, and morally conscious community. Finally, the concept of Khula reminds us that Islam is not rigid, but wise, dynamic, and responsive to human needs. It recognizes that love may fade, compatibility may be lost, and circumstances may change. Yet, instead of condemning those who seek separation for valid reasons, it provides a structured, ethical, and dignified path forward. This is the essence of Khula. It is a right, a protection, and a reflection of the mercy of Allah, who desires ease and justice for His servants. As we embrace this understanding, we begin to see Khula not as a failure, but as a courageous, principled, and enlightened choice, one that empowers women, strengthens communities, and upholds the timeless values of Islam. Ladies and gentlemen, understanding Khula is the first step toward empowerment, fairness, and spiritual wisdom. It teaches us about justice, compassion, and the deep respect that Islam commands for every human being. By embracing this knowledge, we equip ourselves to support women, strengthen families, and build a society that truly reflects the mercy and wisdom of our faith. Ladies and gentlemen, after understanding the essence and wisdom behind Khula, the next critical step is recognizing the valid reasons for seeking Khula and the importance of sincere intention. This is where knowledge meets conscience and understanding meets empowerment. In Islam, Khula is not granted lightly or without reflection. It is a process grounded in fairness, ethics, and genuine need. A woman seeking Khula must first examine her circumstances carefully, not as an act of impulsivity, but as a conscious decision driven by justice, necessity, and the desire for peace of mind. The reasons for seeking Khula can vary widely, but they all revolve around one central principle. The marriage must no longer provide the emotional, spiritual, and moral safety that Islam envisions. Islam encourages women to reflect deeply on their situation. It may be that the marriage has become a source of persistent conflict, neglect, emotional harm, or even abuse. Perhaps the spiritual bond has been broken, or there is an ongoing incompatibility that prevents both spouses from fulfilling the rights and duties prescribed in marriage. Whatever the reason, Islam teaches that no woman should remain trapped in circumstances that harm her heart, body, or soul. Seeking Khula under these circumstances is not a sign of weakness. It is a courageous affirmation of self-respect, dignity, and adherence to divine justice. However, tone in Islam is everything. A woman must approach Khula with a pure, sincere, and ethical mindset. This is not about retaliation, anger, or societal pressure. It is about seeking what is right, fair, and spiritually sound. The Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, repeatedly emphasized the importance of intention, stating that every action is judged by the intention behind it. Therefore, a woman who seeks Khula with sincerity aims to restore her peace, dignity, and well-being, while upholding the principles of fairness and respect toward her spouse. This is the spiritual cornerstone of Khula. It is a decision made consciously, with accountability to Allah, and with awareness of the broader ethical and social implications. In many cases, women may feel hesitant or uncertain about whether their reasons are valid. Here, Islamic guidance is clear. The process of Khula is meant to protect women from harm, not to punish them for seeking autonomy. Scholars have outlined conditions that ensure Khula is exercised responsibly. These include attempting reconciliation, approaching trusted advisors, and understanding the implications of returning the mahr, dowry, or any financial settlements. This structured guidance ensures that Khula is not a hasty choice, but a well-considered, ethically sound decision that balances rights and responsibilities. It is also vital to recognize that seeking Khula does not sever all moral or social responsibilities. Islam teaches that even in separation, justice, respect, and kindness must prevail. Women are encouraged to act with dignity, avoid defamation, and fulfill their ethical obligations toward their spouses and families. In doing so, they not only protect their own honor, but also set an example of ethical conduct that strengthens the moral fabric of society. Moreover, understanding valid reasons and sincere intention in Khula has profound social and spiritual implications. It empowers women to claim their rights without fear, ensures that marriages are not a source of oppression, and promotes a culture where justice and compassion are prioritized over pride or tradition. When women act with sincere intention, guided by knowledge and Islamic principles, they exemplify courage, wisdom, and spiritual maturity. They become role models, not just for their families, but for their communities, demonstrating that Islam honors justice, values dignity, and upholds the welfare of all individuals. Finally, the wisdom behind valid reasons and sincere intention is a reminder that Khula is not merely a legal right. It is a spiritual and ethical journey. It teaches women to reflect, to evaluate, and to make choices that align with divine guidance while maintaining personal integrity. It transforms what could be a painful experience into an opportunity for growth, self-respect, and spiritual resilience. Through this understanding, women are empowered to navigate marital difficulties with clarity, confidence, and courage, knowing that their actions are guided by faith, justice, and wisdom. Ladies and gentlemen, embracing the understanding of valid reasons and sincere intention is the second powerful step in navigating Khula in Islam. It reminds us that empowerment is rooted in knowledge, guided by conscience, and strengthened by faith. By internalizing this principle, we not only honor the rights of women, but also uphold the ethical, spiritual, and social ideals that make Islam a source of justice, compassion, and profound wisdom. Ladies and gentlemen, having understood the essence of Khula and the importance of valid reasons coupled with sincere intention, we now move to the next crucial step, the process of initiating Khula. Knowledge alone is not enough. Action guided by wisdom is what transforms understanding into empowerment. Islam, in its profound wisdom, provides a clear, structured, and ethical framework for women to follow when seeking Khula. This process is designed not only to ensure justice, but also to protect the dignity of both spouses, minimize conflict, and encourage reconciliation wherever possible. It is a step-by-step journey that combines legal clarity with spiritual mindfulness. The first part of this process is self-reflection and consultation. Before taking formal steps, a woman is encouraged to reflect deeply on her situation and consider whether all efforts toward reconciliation have been genuinely explored. Islam encourages dialogue, patience, and understanding, recognizing that marriage is a partnership that thrives on communication and mutual respect. Trusted family members, elders, or Islamic scholars can provide guidance, clarity, and support during this stage. Seeking counsel is not a sign of weakness. It is a demonstration of responsibility, courage, and a commitment to ethical decision making. Once reflection and consultation have been undertaken, the next step is formally approaching the husband. Islam emphasizes the importance of honesty, respect, and transparency in this communication. The woman must express her concerns clearly, explaining her reasons for are seeking Khula while remaining dignified and patient. The husband, in turn, is given the opportunity to consider the request seriously and to engage in discussions aimed at resolving differences. This step highlights Islam's insistence on fairness. Khula is not a unilateral act of defiance, but a structured dialogue designed to maintain justice and compassion. If reconciliation is not possible and the husband agrees to Khula, or if he refuses but valid reasons are present, then the next stage involves seeking the intervention of an Islamic court or qualified religious authority. This step ensures that the woman's rights are upheld according to Sharia, and that any disputes over financial settlements, mahr, dowry, or other responsibilities are resolved fairly. The court or authority acts as a neutral party, ensuring that the process is conducted ethically with no coercion or injustice. This demonstrates the wisdom of Islam. Personal disputes are not left to chance or social pressure. They are handled with justice, fairness, and dignity. An important aspect of the process is the financial and legal settlement. Islam requires fairness in this regard. The woman may return part or all of her mahr as a condition of Khula, but the settlement must always be just and reasonable. This step is not meant to punish the woman or reward the husband unfairly. It is a practical mechanism to ensure clarity, avoid disputes, and allow both parties to move forward with dignity. By adhering to these guidelines, the process of Khula maintains balance, prevents bitterness, and reinforces ethical conduct. Equally important is the emphasis on emotional and spiritual support throughout the process. Seeking Khula can be a challenging and emotionally taxing journey. Islam encourages women to remain patient, seek counseling if needed, and draw strength from prayer, reflection, and faith. By nurturing resilience and inner peace, women can navigate the process with courage, dignity, and moral integrity. This aspect underscores a profound truth. Khula is not just a legal procedure. It is a spiritual and emotional journey that strengthens faith, self-respect, and moral courage. Finally, the process of initiating Khula reflects a broader principle. Justice must be balanced with compassion. Knowledge must be paired with action, and empowerment must respect ethical boundaries. Through a structured, thoughtful, and morally guided process, Khula ensures that women are not trapped in harmful circumstances, that their rights are protected, and that the dignity of all parties is preserved. It transforms what could be a painful or divisive experience into an opportunity for growth, fairness, and spiritual resilience. Ladies and gentlemen, understanding and following the proper process of initiating Khula is the third powerful step in this journey. It teaches us that empowerment is not just about claiming rights, but about pursuing them responsibly, ethically, and with spiritual awareness. By embracing this process, women are not only asserting their rights, they are upholding the very principles of justice, compassion, and moral integrity that Islam cherishes. In doing so, they contribute to a society where fairness, dignity, and ethical conduct are valued above all, and where every individual is empowered to live a life of respect, balance, and faith. Ladies and gentlemen, having explored the essence of Khula, the reasons for seeking it, and the process of initiating it, we now arrive at the fourth powerful step: understanding the rights and responsibilities of both spouses during and after Khula. This step is critical because Islam places immense importance on fairness, balance, and dignity, not only in marriage but also in the process of separation. Khula is not meant to punish or reward unfairly. It is a divine mechanism designed to protect the rights of both parties while ensuring justice, compassion, and ethical conduct prevail. First, let us focus on the rights of the woman. Islam grants her protection in several key areas. She has the right to seek separation if the marriage causes her harm, distress, or prevents her from fulfilling her spiritual and personal duties. She has the right to be treated with respect and fairness throughout the process without facing coercion, verbal abuse, or social stigma. She also has the right to a clear financial settlement, which may include returning part or all of her mahr, while ensuring that no undue hardship is placed upon her. These rights are not merely legalities, they are a reflection of the divine emphasis on human dignity, justice, and emotional well-being. A woman exercising her right to Khula is acting in accordance with Sharia, asserting her God-given dignity and embracing responsibility for her own life and future. Equally important are the rights of the husband. Islam emphasizes fairness even in separation. The husband has the right to a transparent and ethical process, to be informed of the reasons for the Khula, and to have an equitable resolution regarding the mahr or any agreed upon settlement. He also retains the right to maintain respect in society, free from defamation or unwarranted hostility. These responsibilities and rights reflect the broader Islamic principle that justice is not partial. It must honor the dignity and welfare of all parties involved. During the Khula process, mutual responsibilities are paramount. Both spouses are encouraged to maintain ethical behavior, uphold social decorum, and avoid actions that could cause unnecessary conflict or emotional harm. Communication should remain respectful, settlements should be fair, and the guidance of qualified scholars or mediators should be sought to ensure clarity and justice. By adhering to these responsibilities, both husband and wife demonstrate integrity, moral courage, and commitment to Islamic principles. After Khula, responsibilities continue, particularly in terms of financial and social obligations. Islam teaches that a woman's rights to maintenance during the waiting period, iddah, must be upheld. This period is not only a legal requirement, but also a spiritual and social safeguard, allowing both spouses to transition responsibly. Children, if involved, must be cared for fairly, with custody and support determined in a manner that prioritizes their welfare. These responsibilities are not burdens. They are acts of moral and social stewardship that uphold justice, kindness, and compassion, ensuring that even in separation, the principles of Islam are fully honored. Understanding these rights and responsibilities is not just a legal matter. It is profoundly motivational. It teaches women and men alike that empowerment comes with accountability, freedom comes with responsibility, and justice comes with ethical conduct. By fulfilling these obligations, both spouses uphold their dignity, contribute to social harmony, and honor the ethical and spiritual framework of Islam. The beauty of this step lies in its balance. It protects women from injustice, safeguards men from undue hardship, and ensures that separation is handled with fairness, respect, and moral clarity. Moreover, this step has a broader social impact. When rights and responsibilities are respected, communities witness fewer conflicts, children grow up in ethical and just environments, and the values of Islam, compassion, justice, and dignity, are strengthened. Both men and women become role models, demonstrating that even in separation, adherence to moral principles, fairness, and spiritual integrity is possible. This reinforces the truth that Islam is not just a religion of rituals, it is a complete guide for personal, familial, and societal harmony. Ladies and gentlemen, the fourth step, understanding and respecting the rights and responsibilities during and after Khula, is a testament to the divine wisdom embedded in Islamic law. It reminds us that empowerment, justice, and dignity are inseparable, and that ethical conduct must guide every decision we make. By embracing this principle, women assert their rights, men honor fairness, and society as a whole benefits from the justice and compassion that Islam teaches so profoundly. Ladies and gentlemen, as we journey further into understanding Khula in Islam, we arrive at the fifth powerful step, emotional and spiritual support during Khula. This is perhaps one of the most personal and transformative aspects of the process, because high knowledge of rights, responsibilities, and procedures is essential. The human heart must also be nurtured, strengthened, and guided. Islam, in its infinite wisdom, recognizes that separation, no matter how just, is never purely procedural. It touches the soul, stirs emotions, and challenges resilience. And yet, through the principles of faith, prayer, reflection, and support, a woman can navigate this path with courage, dignity, and spiritual fortitude. First, let us acknowledge the emotional reality. Seeking Khula can bring a spectrum of feelings: sadness, fear, uncertainty, or even guilt. These emotions are natural. They are a reflection of the sacred bond of marriage and the human heart's capacity for attachment. Islam does not demand that one suppress these feelings, but rather that they be managed with awareness, patience, and guidance. Women are encouraged to seek counseling, lean on trusted family members, and engage in sincere reflection. Emotional support is not a luxury. It is an essential pillar of resilience that ensures decisions are made with clarity, strength, and ethical grounding. Spiritual support, equally, is critical. Islam provides a profound toolkit for inner strength. Prayer, salah, supplication, dua, remembrance of Allah, dhikr, and reflection on the Quran. These practices center the heart, calm the mind, and provide perspective. When a woman seeks khula with a sincere intention, turning to Allah for guidance empowers her to face challenges with courage and wisdom. She is reminded that her worth, dignity, and spiritual well-being are safeguarded by divine wisdom. Every trial, including the challenge of separation, is an opportunity for personal growth, spiritual refinement, and increased reliance on Allah's justice and mercy. Community and social support also play a vital role. Islam encourages women to surround themselves with individuals who provide encouragement, guidance, and positivity. Supportive friends, family members, and mentors help navigate practical challenges such as legal procedures, financial matters, or co-parenting arrangements. This network ensures that the woman does not feel isolated or overwhelmed, allowing her to make empowered decisions while maintaining emotional stability. By embracing this support, women transform potential vulnerability into strength, demonstrating resilience, wisdom, and moral courage. Furthermore, emotional and spiritual support helps women maintain dignity and ethical conduct throughout the process. A strong faith-centered mindset prevents impulsive actions, discourages bitterness, and fosters fairness toward the spouse and others involved. Islam teaches that even in separation, kindness, integrity, and respect must guide behavior. A woman who draws on emotional and spiritual support embodies these principles, turning what could be a challenging experience into a journey of empowerment, moral growth, and spiritual awakening. Another vital aspect is self-reflection and personal growth. Khula provides an opportunity to understand oneself, assess personal boundaries, and strengthen inner resilience. It teaches women to prioritize their well-being, trust their judgment, and embrace the responsibilities that come with freedom. Emotional intelligence, coupled with spiritual awareness, ensures that decisions are not just legally correct, but morally sound and spiritually aligned. This dual focus on heart and soul is what distinguishes khula in Islam as a process of empowerment rather than mere separation. Finally, emotional and spiritual support during khula has a ripple effect on society. Women who navigate separation with dignity, wisdom, and faith become role models for others. They demonstrate that challenges can be faced with courage, justice can be pursued with integrity, and personal well-being can coexist with ethical conduct. Communities, in turn, benefit from the cultivation of fairness, compassion, and moral clarity, creating an environment where justice and respect are the norm rather than the exception. Ladies and gentlemen, the fifth step, prioritizing emotional and spiritual support during khula, is a testament to Islam's profound understanding of the human heart. It reminds us that empowerment is not only about knowing rights or following procedures, it is also about nurturing the soul, strengthening the spirit, and embracing resilience. By providing this support, women can face the process of khula with confidence, dignity, and unwavering faith, transforming a difficult journey into a pathway of growth, honor, and spiritual elevation. Ladies and gentlemen, as we arrive at the sixth and final step in our journey, we reflect on the broader perspective, the social wisdom and long-term benefits of Khula in Islam. Up until now, we have explored the essence of Khula, the valid reasons for seeking it, the process of initiating it, the rights and responsibilities it entails, and the emotional and spiritual support that sustains a woman through this journey. But Islam, in its unparalleled wisdom, does not limit the significance of Khula to the individual alone. It extends its impact to families, communities, and society at large. Khula is not only a personal right, it is a mechanism through which justice, harmony, and ethical conduct are preserved in the wider social fabric. At the heart of this principle is the understanding that justice in personal relationships strengthens society. When women have access to fair and ethical means of separation, communities witness fewer conflicts, fewer instances of oppression, and less emotional harm that might otherwise spill over into homes, neighborhoods, and social structures. Khula ensures that women are not forced to endure harm silently, which in turn prevents resentment, bitterness, and social tension. A society where individuals can resolve personal difficulties with fairness and dignity is a society built on the foundations of peace, morality, and trust. Furthermore, Khula promotes the principle of accountability and ethical conduct. Both spouses are guided to act responsibly, uphold their rights and duties, and maintain moral integrity throughout the process. By doing so, they model values of fairness, compassion, and respect for younger generations. Children, especially, observe how their parents navigate challenges, learning from these experiences that ethical behavior, justice, and dignity are more important than ego, pride, or societal pressure. This social wisdom is invaluable, as it cultivates a culture of respect, responsibility, and ethical decision-making for the generations to come. Another long-term benefit is the empowerment of women as informed and confident members of society. When women understand Khula and exercise it responsibly, they reclaim agency over their lives, make informed decisions, and inspire others to do the same. Empowered women contribute positively to their communities, workplaces, and families. They bring clarity, justice, and wisdom into their social interactions, demonstrating that Islam's guidance is not restrictive but liberating, not punitive but protective, and not divisive but restorative. Khula also serves as a preventive measure against social and familial harm. By offering a clear, ethical, and structured path for separation, it reduces domestic conflict, prevents emotional abuse, and safeguards the well-being of children and family members. Islam's guidance ensures that separation, when necessary, is not chaotic or harmful, but managed with dignity, fairness, and foresight. The social benefits are profound: fewer broken homes in turmoil, better mental and emotional health for all parties, and stronger communities grounded in justice and compassion. Moreover, the long-term spiritual benefit of Khula cannot be overstated. It reflects the mercy, justice, and wisdom of Allah, who desires ease for His servants and the preservation of human dignity. Women who navigate Khula with sincerity, patience, and adherence to Islamic principles strengthen not only their social position, but also their spiritual connection. They exemplify courage, integrity, and faith, demonstrating to all that following divine guidance leads to holistic well-being, emotionally, socially, and spiritually. Finally, the social wisdom of Khula reminds us that Islam is a religion of balance, justice, and mercy. It does not demand that individuals endure injustice silently, nor does it allow chaos to prevail. Instead, it provides structured solutions that honor the rights of all parties, protect the vulnerable, and ensure that society functions in harmony with moral and ethical principles. By embracing Khula responsibly, women and men contribute to a world where dignity is preserved, justice is upheld, and compassion governs human interaction. Ladies and gentlemen, understanding the social wisdom and long-term benefits of Khula is the culmination of our journey. It teaches us that Khula is not merely a legal procedure. It is a profound expression of justice, fairness, and mercy, designed to protect individuals and strengthen society. By embracing this understanding, we honor the principles of Islam, empower women, preserve family harmony, and cultivate communities rooted in ethical conduct, respect, and compassion. Khula, when approached with knowledge, sincerity, and faith, becomes more than separation. It becomes a pathway to justice, dignity, and lasting social harmony.